Yes, yes. How are we? I am currently sat outside of the gym. Training day, of course. Of which we have quads. Which I fucking love this session. And I thought, here in this car is where I do a majority of my thinking. And it's usually pre-workout. Something about the clarity that this time, the whole process of me preparing to train, just brings me a real sense of focus, away from work, away from check-ins, away from everything, and just allows for less noise. And with that being said, I thought there's so much in bodybuilding and the content that does the rounds from a physical application standpoint. Everything to do, or largely focusing on nutrition, approach to training, methodologies, the drug side of things, the drug applications, the anabolics, the PEDs, and very rarely anything about the bricks and mortar type stuff. And I mean mainly from a mindset, from a headspace perspective. So I've got no idea where this video is going to end up, but we're going to rock with it. And I'm going to stop holding this microphone because I'm scared that was going to happen. But more importantly, I feel like a bit of a cock when I'm holding the mic like that. But the aspect of, or the importance of mindset, and I want to give a bit of an insight as to the headspace of things, and the whys, the reasonings behind things that drive the accuracy, that drive the consistency. The things that people see is very easy, right? But the most important aspect, the driving force behind anything that we do, starts from a mindset perspective. Now, I've been thinking of late what bodybuilding, training, the process of it all actually means to me. Because it where you do something for so long, it becomes synonymous with waking in the morning and brushing your teeth. One would like to hope that that's a normality for people. There are definitely some bastards out there that avoid that part of the day. You can smell that shit a mile off. But it becomes synonymous with things like brushing teeth, or putting underwear on, or just breathing and existing. You just do it. It's ingrained in you. It's wired. But having a think as to why I started, and what keeps me doing what I do, and I'd probably say that throughout the years, my reasonings have changed. At least my understanding of it has changed. It might sound really, really weird, really strange. I have come to realise now, at my age, my experience, the importance of and the role that this whole way of life, the routine, the consistency, the finding enjoyment in mundane, what that brings to my life, aside from the shit you see with a physical progression. It, for me, is my constant. It is my constant. Regardless of environment, regardless of mood, energy, headspace, whatever gym or facility I have to train out of, equipment I have available, it makes no odds to me. I still get the exact same thing from it regardless. It's my point throughout the week where I can center in on everything. It's my time to recharge, prioritize everything else that I need to be or need to have in order to be better across the board. A better partner, a better son, a better person, a better coach, just a better person. It allows me to do all those things so much better, so much more effectively. To many people, what we do is anal, unhealthy, excessive, strange, and just a really odd way to both spend your time and pull enjoyment from that. To many people, that source of feeling comes from going out on the weekend. Some people, it might come from food. Others, it might be social media. It might be gaming for others. But for us, it's the consistency. It's the enjoyment in the mundane that we love. And for many people, for many of us, our time in those four walls are, and I hate to say the word, but they're therapy, they're coping mechanisms. And I know many will, whether I agree with that or not, is irrelevant, because it is for some. It is a way of coping, it is a way of management, of relief for people, whether you agree with it or not. And I'm not saying that it is for me, because I'm not sure that it is that. But for some people it is. Whether or not, like I said, you agree with it and you think that, you know, it shouldn't be used as a plaster. Some people need that time in there to be able to function, to be able to be a parent, to be able to do the 9 to 5, to whatever it may be. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I was thinking, I could be in any scenario in the world where most would think getting themselves into the gym or being accurate with nutrition is like, why would you want to do that? Like, I've been on holidays to some amazing places, amazing food, beautiful culture, amazing weather, and the best part of the day for me is still, or the most important part of the day is this time. And that's neither right nor wrong. It is what it is. And I think when I first started, I think my reasoning as to why was maybe a little bit different. I think that was coming from a position of insecurity. Insecurity passion, want and drive to be what I perceived as better, to look better, to feel better, to progress from where I was at that current time, which is still very much the goal and the focus. But now as I've matured and things progress, it becomes multifaceted. So my why now is very much like an amalgamation of I want to live my years whereby my body and mind is able to do and go in the direction that I want it to, and I want to capitalise on that. I don't want to look back when those things are going against me and my time has passed and think, what if? As cliche as that is, and you hear that said all the time, I do not care what that looks like in terms of how far I go, what my physique looks like. I could not care on the physical element of it. All I care about is that I do everything within my power to make as much progress on a daily basis as possible. That is all I care about. That is the thing that drives me. Other than that, the rest is out of my control. I am never going to be a world-class bodybuilder. That isn't the goal for me. Well, that isn't the expectation. That's the goal in my head, and how I operate is I want to be a motherfucking world-class bodybuilder. I'm also a realist, understanding that I don't have the genetics for that. Man is just not built for that. But that does not stop or change or influence how I go about my day-to-day, and I choose to live my life. And some people, they might go, what a waste of a life that is. If you know you're not gonna be the best at something, what are you doing it for? Because I've just told you exactly what this way of living, this lifestyle brings to me. There is nothing more enjoyable than what I get to do on a daily basis. I wish people could experience what this shit gives to me and many other people, because that's one thing that makes me feel a specific kind of way, that people are comfortable going or living their life, living their years, not knowing what it feels like to experience what we do on a daily basis. And they look at it as though, like, God, you need to relax, you need to slow down, you need to not put as much pressure and stress on things. It's like, we fucking thrive. We thrive doing this stuff. We'd be so worse off for not doing it. But yeah, people don't know. They don't know what it feels like to feel good. That's the reality. And that also brings me on to the point of, especially at the moment, and I think it's a sign of just modern bodybuilding and the influence of things and just a natural progression. There is so much onus and pressure put on timelines. And by timelines, I mean specifically being at certain positions on very specific dates. And it often becomes the only thing that you focus on is that date. And you lose track as to what the why that was driving that initial spark, that initial want for change. And you're not getting yourself caught up all too much within the kind of artificial, superficial things, and losing sight of the bricks and mortar, the nuts and bolts as to what you are doing it for. When people say, what would, a 10-year-old or 15-year-old you say if they could see you now? And everyone always says, they'd say, fucking hell, you've well exceeded things. It's that. It's still having the mindset as to what you had when you were your younger self. And perspective is very, very important. But that's something that I've come to learn, is that there is zero point or benefit to put so much weight on time. It will happen when it is meant to happen, and that isn't to say that we're not caring about wanting to make as much progress throughout a period of time or across a period of time. Going by the fact that intent and consistency is just linear throughout. It's an ever constant, which it is for 99% of us, right? We don't have issues with adherence. We don't have off days. If we do, it's because we are on fucking death's door and we can't get ourselves out of bed, or we are shitting through the eye of a needle. Something like that. Proper force majeure type stuff. We'll be where we're meant to be within time. Just kick back. Enjoy the process. Remember that this shit is fun. It's a game. It is a game. A game that we're playing as if we're shooting to fucking finish first place. Absolutely. At least that's my ideology. Why the fuck are we playing just to participate? No, we're playing to capitalise on shit. But still remember that it is a game. It is a game. Zero pressure. Maximum enjoyment. Always. Regardless of phase, regardless of context, environment. This whole lifestyle is very much, I've always described it as being like the train tracks. Life is gonna move left and right, regardless of how well or how much, effort we put into things to control and manage. We're always gonna find ourselves skew a little bit. But this routine, this lifestyle, the adherence, the consistency, the progress, the mindset, the monotony, is all a train track. It keeps us centered. It keeps us sane. It keeps us sane. It keeps us happy. At least it does for a few of us. But yeah, I very much like going by flow this video. I hope I've not rambled and lost people too much, but when I start talking about things like this, I just talk. But what we got? Almost 20 minutes of view time on your next drive to the gym, or pre-bed. Might work even better for some people. But that's where we're at. The mindset, the headspace, the more important shit. We've got to think of a title for this type of video. Might keep it irregular alongside the vlog type things. I want to see some suggestions in the comments. Car bollocks. Anyway, whatever it is, this is number one. Much love.